Please be seated. Item number 1 on the agenda is apologies for absence. Do we have any, Nicola, please?
No apologies, Chair.
Are there any declarations of interest at this stage, please? Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the election of a new chair of the Council for the civic year 2022-23. Before I call for nominations, I wish to address this Council. As Vice Chair, it's been a huge privilege to represent Monmouthshire on a few occasions during this year. I've attended several functions. I visited St David's Hospice in Newport, which was amazing, Usk Show, a few other items, a few other places that I've been to, and it's been absolutely inspiring to represent this council, and I felt it was a big honour as Vice Chair when our Chair couldn't make this situation. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. It's lovely to see so many people here today. Really appreciate your attendance, particularly the guests, the High Sheriff and the Deputy Lord Lieutenant. Thank you. Thank you. May I call now, please, on nominations? Sorry. I beg your pardon. Sorry, Richard. Sorry. The Leader of the Council wishes to say a few words. Thank you. Richard John. Councillor Richard John.
Thank you. I'd like to say a few words just as Leader of the Conservative Group. So I wanted to beg your indulgence for a couple of minutes. Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I wanted to say a few words to thank both Anne and Matt Feekins, our outgoing chairman, for all they've done in the last year in challenging times as both chair and vice chair of this council. Matt Feekins, who's been our chairman for the last 12 months, sends his apologies today due to an unavoidable personal commitment. But I think Matt and Anne have been a fantastic team over the last 12 months as figureheads of our council. They took up their positions in the midst of a global pandemic, and as a result of that, their roles have been so much more challenging than they might have ordinarily been, chairing both fully virtual and hybrid meetings, and keeping order when only half the members are actually in the room, I think has been a challenge, but you've done it so well, both of you. And it's been a particular challenge because in Monmouthshire we've been trailblazers the last 12 months, switching to hybrid working much earlier than other councils, recognising the opportunities of a new, more accessible way of working. And you know, that's so important in terms of attracting a broader range of councillors, including those with caring commitments. So Anne and Matt, we're really proud of the fair and non-partisan way in which you've conducted your roles over the last 12 months, ensuring that everyone in this chamber and joining virtually has had an equal opportunity to take part in our proceedings, and you've done very well to keep us all in line. We're grateful to you as well for all the charitable work you've done over the last year, also representing the authority at countless civic engagements. I know it was a disappointment to you personally that many of the school functions that you would ordinarily have attended were not taking place, but we are grateful to you for all that you have done. I know that Matt would echo some of your comments, and I know he particularly wanted to thank Linda, Julia and the whole Democratic Services team for all they've done to support you both in your time in office. Matt told me the most rewarding part of the role was meeting Monmouthshire County Council staff, and we really are fortunate in this council to have some of the most hard-working and dedicated officers in the whole of local government, so we're really grateful, and Matt really wanted to emphasise that point. While I've got the floor, I just wanted to make a couple of remarks and to congratulate all the both new and returning members of this council. Congratulations on winning the support of our residents in these elections. I recognise what a gruelling process it is for all of us, and I really do wish every single one of you well over the years ahead. You know, we're all here to serve our residents. I know we might have political differences from time to time, but there is so much more that unites us in this chamber, and I really hope that we can do all we can over the next 5 years to focus on those things that do bring us together and encourage us to do the best we can for our residents. I do want to pay tribute to the members who stood in the election and weren't returned. From my own group, Matt Feekins, Jamie Trahan, Jane Pratt, Sheila Woodhouse, Paul Jordan, Ruth Edwards, also Giles Howard. From the independent group, Val Smith. From the independents, Kevin Williams and Alan Davis, and from the Lib Dems, Joe Watkins and Jez Becker. And I just want to put on record my thanks and the thanks of my group to them for their service. My own group has been like a family the last 5 years, and the members who haven't returned this time will be dearly missed. So I just wanted to put on record my thanks to them. I'm also particularly proud that this new council is the most diverse that we've ever had. I'm really proud that we've become the first council in Wales to be gender balanced. This hasn't happened naturally. It's happened because all of us in this chamber identified a challenge and took action to address it. And I think it's a really good example of what we can all achieve when we work together. And I really hope now that we can deliver now on that opportunity of the potential of a council that is truly reflective of our residents. So it's a real privilege for me to be one of the 46 guardians of our county. And I look forward to working with all of you in a constructive and consensual way, focusing on what unites us and what we can deliver for the people of Monmouthshire. So, Madam Vice Chair, and to our outgoing Chairman, Matt Feekins, thank you for your service, and we wish you well for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank our amazing officers in this county. We're so fortunate, and particularly to Nikki, who we're so pleased is back with us again. Thank you, Nikki. We're so glad to see you back. So there we are. Can I now move on to call for nominations for the Office of Chair of the Council, of the County Council for the civic year 2022 to 23, please.
Chair, I'm delighted to nominate Councillor Laura Wright from Grofield Ward as chair of this council. Her age and background reflect our determination as a Labour group to be inclusive and active in our engagement with diverse cultures, ideas and people. Originally from North Wales, Laura has made Abergavenny... Sorry, I'm a little too small. Only in height. Originally from North Wales, Laura has made Abergavenny her home and is very much part of the desire of so many of us to protect the rich natural environment of Monmouthshire. She has a long history of community and voluntary work, including with people who are living with mental health challenges, with people fighting addictions and substance abuse, and with vulnerable women who are engaged in street sex work. Her training as a psychotherapist and experience engaging with people in a fair, compassionate and non-judgmental manner means Laura will be an inclusive, fair chair, encouraging us all to engage and debate with respect and kindness.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations, please? Could I have a seconder for Laura, please? Thank you very much. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there any further nominations, please? I now invite Councillor Laura Wright to come forward. Could I have a show of hands for the voting for Laura, please, first of all?
That's carried, Chair.
Thank you. That's carried. Thank you very much. I now invite Councillor Laura Wright to read and sign her declaration of acceptance of office, please. Laura, come down.
So I, Laura Wright, having been elected to the office of Chair of Monmouthshire County Council, declare that I take office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code for the time being as to the conduct which is expected of members of Monmouthshire County Council and which may be revised from time to time.
You can just sign up.
Yep.
Can you put these in my hand? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Lovely, thank you so much. Right, I'll see you. Oh, please do. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thanks very much. Oh, I'll just get myself some water. Right, well, friends, colleagues, thank you so much for electing me to this position and for putting your trust in me, and I will do my very best to repay this honour and the absolute privilege that is being Chair of Monmouthshire County Council for this civic year. Today, my consort is going to be my mum, Teresa, who's sat in the public gallery at the moment. But my consort will not always be the same person. Sometimes it'll be my partner, Matt. Sometimes it'll be a friend of mine. But I think that not always having the same person with me reflects our ambitions to be a modern, flexible council. Now, people my age, many of you, I know, will have jobs, will have families, will have caring responsibilities, and I think the fact that I will not always have the same person with me shows that we can find ways of being inclusive, ways of working that reflect who we are as people in the modern and, as you said, modern and diverse representative group of people. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I will wrap it to a close and just say again, thank you so much for honouring me with this, and I will do my very best to chair this in a fair, impartial manner. I will take seriously the civic responsibility not to favour one over the other. And yes, thank you very much, colleagues. Item 4 on the agenda, I now call for nominations for the office of Vice Chair of the Council of County Council for the civic year 2022 to 23.
I'm pleased to nominate Councillor Peter Strong of the Roggett ward to be Vice Chair of the Council. We're a new council. You may not all know Peter. He's at the end of the third row. The other end of the age spectrum, perhaps to the chair that you've just chosen, if he doesn't mind me saying so. Like that. Peter, I've only met him in recent weeks, but I know him to have the background to which we can all aspire as members of this council. He's thoroughly embedded in the community that he's serving, the community he represents, the community of Caldicot. He was 36 years as a history teacher in the local comprehensive. That in itself gains my respect and that of many others. He's an active volunteer in his community. He tells me he mows the local churchyard. He's the friend of those most in need in his community, including people who've arrived as refugees from global crises. In representing this council as Vice Chair, Peter will bring to the council that inclusive spirit that he brings to his own community. He will represent all of us as council members to all of the citizens in the county. He will ensure that all members, irrespective of political party or political group, can make a valued contribution to the work of this council. I nominate Councillor Peter Stone.
Strong.
Strong. It's a trip down my script.
Lovely, thank you, Paul. Do I have a seconder for Pete Strong? Ben Callard, Councillor Callard, thank you very much. If there are no further nominations, are there any further nominations?
Thank you. Yes, I would like to nominate, and I mean absolutely no disrespect to Peter, but I would like to nominate Councillor Anne Webb, who has been a fantastic vice chair over the last 12 months. I think she has considerable experience to bring to the role, and I think in a new conciliatory and in the spirit of joint working, I think having a team of a chair and vice chair from both Conservative and Labour would be a really effective team and an excellent way for the council to proceed. So I'd like to make that nomination, please, for Councillor Anne Webb.
Absolutely. And do I have a seconder for Councillor Anne Webb?
I'd like to
Councillor
second
Powell.
Anne, thank you.
Thank you. Right, councillors, can we proceed to a vote, please?
Chair, if I may. So obviously with two nominations, councillors, we're going to use the voting function in the chat function like many of you were showing this morning. So Nicola here is just putting the option in and you'll see that pop up in the chat bar very shortly. Same for those at home, you should have access to the chat bar. I'm conscious, of course, councillors Webb and Wright don't have the ability to vote in that way, so I'll just ask you to signal which way your vote is going to me as we go through the process. Thank you.
The chat bar up yet, Chair?
It's exciting, isn't it?
Where's John?
It keeps shifting over from them two for me. It's a pain in the arse.
What's the issue? He can't vote.
I can't vote. Oh, there you go. I'm on now. I'm on now. It's a pain in the arse. Keep switching over and I put it all in and just
Chair, you might want to tell Councillor Howarth to turn his microphone off.
Chair, thank you. So, councillors, you can see in the chat bar in front of you that we've had 44 responses. There are 46 councillors here today. 2 councillors don't have access to the chat function, of course, Councillors Wright and Webb, who are sat up here at the moment, who have casted their vote with me. That leaves us in a situation where we are 24 and 22 at the moment, at the current standing in favour of Councillor Webb. However, I'm conscious this is the first time we've used this tech, and given how close that vote is, Chair, with your permission, I'm going to propose that we go to a roll call vote, just so that we can be absolutely certain. So this is the process that we would run for a recorded vote as well. What I'm going to do is ask Nicola to run through everyone's names in alphabetical order. So if you could simply just reply with the name Strong or Webb, or Councillor Strong, Councillor Webb, and then Nicola can tally those up as we go through. Has anyone got any questions? Thank you. Nicola.
Okay, so we're going through in alphabetical order. So first, County Councillor Bond.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Brocklesby.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Bromfield.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Brown.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Bryn.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Birch.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Butler.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Callard.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Chandler.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Crook.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Davis.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Dimmock.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Eason.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Fuchs.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Garrett.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Garrett.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Greenland.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Griffiths.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Strong. Councillor Webb.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor John.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Penny Jones.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Keir.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Lane.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Lucas.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Maybe.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor McConnell.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor McKenna.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Murphy.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Neal.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Pavia.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Powell.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Riley.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Rook.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Sandals.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Stevens.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Jackie Strong.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Peter Strong.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Taylor.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Thomas.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Watts.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Webb.
Just checking. And Councillor Wright.
Councillor Pete Strong.
Thank you.
Chair, if I may. I was missed out, I'm afraid. Councillor Edwards.
Apologies, Councillor Edwards.
I forgive you.
Councillor.
Councillor Webb.
Okay, thanks.
Chair, The results are therefore, so Councillor Strong received 22 votes and Councillor Webb received 24 votes. Therefore, the vote has gone for Councillor Webb.
Congratulations. I now invite. Okay, so I now invite. Sorry, I'll just speak loudly. I now invite Councillor Webb to read and sign her declaration of acceptance of office.
I, Anne Webb, having been elected to the office of Vice Chairman of Monmouthshire County Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code for the time being as to the conduct which is expected of members of Monmouthshire County Council and which may be revised from time to time.
You've had these before. There we go. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Some flowers. Go past you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. It's lovely to see you here today. Can I introduce you to my consort, George Webb, for the coming year? Thank you. It's lovely to see you here as well, both of you. Thank you for the confidence shown in me, and I just really want to wish Laura the best year, and I know she will be a really asset to this council, and I really look forward to working with her for this coming year. Thank you.
Thank you. I know I won't.
Pretty much done.
Hmm.
Pretty much done.
Let's put first. And then invite to my consort. Right. I now invite the Vice Chair of Council's consort to present the consort's chain of office to my consort. Is it?
Dance around now. Congratulations. It's very nervous. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Okay. With the Council's consent, the remaining items on the agenda will be deferred to the meeting of the County Council to be held on Thursday, 19th May 2022, this coming Thursday. I would now like to invite the Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, distinguished guests, my fellow councillors and guests, and senior officers to join me for refreshments.